All right, y'all, I'm super excited for this video because we're going to be talking all about the Half Magic Beauty and Euphoria collection. In the US, this will be launching at Half Magic and Ulta Beauty on April 29th. It will also be launching in the UK on the same day and in Australia and New Zealand at Mecca on June 2nd. And I like this collection because it doesn't feel too overwhelming. This is what I would call a capsule collection. The collection itself includes a glitter puck, a glitter pill, a beam trap highlighter, an eyeshadow palette, face gems, a magic flick eyeliner and flick eraser, and a wing magician, and a lip gloss. And I am going to try everything on and do a couple looks, so let's go ahead and get into it. If you found my video helpful and decide to use any of my shopping links, thank you so much. It really does support my channel. All right, and let's go ahead and dive right in, starting with the new glitter puck. This is the one I'm holding. It's called Feel Something. And just like the most recent glitter puck that came out called Princess Ghost, this is what I would consider to be an iridescent. It has blue and purple sparkles. As far as I know, this is a limited edition shade. It is more expensive than the typical glitter puck. It retails for $34. It has the exact same amount of product as the other ones. And because I knew people were going to be interested, I wanted to compare this to Princess Ghost, and that's what's on my fingertip now. Princess Ghost is an icy blue silver. I was a little bit concerned that they would be too close, but when I swatch them and see them side by side, they are quite different. And I'm not sure which I prefer more. I think I may prefer this limited edition shade just ever so slightly more because I love a blue purple. However, I do want to say these give similar vibes. So if you are holding out on this new one and you have Princess Ghost, I don't think you should feel FOMO. The next product we have in this collection is the eyeshadow palette, and this is 6-pan eyeshadow palette. These are all duochromes. I absolutely love that they gave us new duochromes in this collection. They are, of course, named after the 6 main characters in the show. First, we have the shade Rue, and this I think is my favorite shade in the palette. Of course, it's a glowy blue purple. I also just really want to mention that the texture of these shades I think is going to work for a lot of people. These chromes do not feel emollient to me. So if you are someone who tended to get creasing with some of the original duochromes from Half Magic, I think these will probably work better for you. I also know that I'm probably going to get some questions if these pans are magnetic. No, they are glued into the palette. I love that a lot of these shades are semi-sheer. That makes them extra glowy on the skin. All right, and the next shade we have is Maddie. And initially I thought this would be kind of like a deep green, but when I swatched it, it looks like it's a charcoal. You can see when I swatch it on the back of my hand, you can wear it sheared out for a layer of sparkle. But with all of these shades, you can also pack them on for full opacity. I feel like this shade Maddie is a perfect full glam shade. It's classy. You can use it as a neutral day-to-day shadow or dress it up for a smoky eye. And another thing I like to see is that all of these shades to me seem like they are unique to the Half Magic lineup. This next shade that I'm swatching is called Lexi. I was so excited for this one because it looked to me like some type of iridescent. And when I swatch it on the back of my hand, it looks like it is basically a platinum silver. This shade is so light and ethereal, and it is packed with sparkle. You can see when I try it on the lids that it has this really pretty light green shift. And I don't feel like any of these shades are super textured, but this one feels a little bit smoother than the other shades in the palette. Okay, the next shade we have is Cassie, and this one I would describe as a light pinky peach. And when I swatch it on the back of my hand, you can see that you have quite a bit of light silver sparkle throughout as well. And just like with all of the other shades I've shown, it looks quite different whether you use this as a sheer wash of sparkle or you build it up. And of course, if you have a lighter skin tone than mine, it's going to look a lot pinker and peachier than it does on the back of my hand. All right, and the next shade we have is another shade that I really enjoy. This is Jewels. I would describe this as a really grungy gold green. This one is giving me a little bit of the vibes that Swamp Goddess gives, but I would say that this shade has a little bit more gold in it and Swamp Goddess is a bit more green. And for what it's worth, I do find that the texture of this shade is less squishy and emollient feeling. All right, and the last shade in the palette is Cat, and this is a really pretty, slightly grungy blue-green. And when you swatch this shade on the back of the hand, you can see that it also has a hint of golden sparkle as well. I gotta say, I am very impressed with these shades. I feel like they gave us a really nice assortment. There were no duds. And all of the shades just go really well together. I will say this is a pricey palette. It retails for $59. But if you like all the shades and you do decide to get it, I don't think that you'll be disappointed, especially if you enjoy Half Magic duochromes. All right, and the next product we're going to talk about is the new glitter pill. The shade is called Glitter Tears, which I think is absolutely perfect. The formula feels exactly the same to me as their other glitter pills. I would describe it as a pale lavender with a hint of blue. And again, I don't think we have any other shades quite like this in the current lineup. Okay, and one of the products I was super excited about in this launch is this new Beam Trap shade. If you're not familiar with Beam Trap, it is a cream highlighter that came out, I want to say a couple of years ago at this point. It's a beautiful cream formula. It doesn't have sparkles and it's a mixture of a bronze and a pale champagne. The idea is that you can mix the two shades together to make your own kind of custom shade, and that is exactly the idea here. This is kind of like a blush lighter, so you have the highlighting effect, but you also get some blush. It looks to me like it's a mixture of a hot pink with a very pale pink. I love the way that this is done because I think it's going to flatter a very wide range of skin tones. And this is the shade You Love to Be Loved, so blush like you mean it, and it retails for $26. All right, and the next product we have, I believe, is a brand new formula. This is called Be You're My Soulmate. It's a lip gloss. It comes in a squeezy tube and it's this beautiful, deep brownie red. Again, very happy that this is the shade they decided to make because I think this is going to be a shade that works for a wide range of skin tones. And you really can get a good amount of pigment with this one. All right, and a quick note about some of the other products you get. You have a Wing Magician set, Face Gems, the liquid eyeliner, and the magic eraser. And none of these products are unique. The main thing that's different is the packaging. So these products for sure are not ones that should give you any sense of FOMO if you decide not to get them. All right, and I am really excited to try this new shade of Beam Trap because their original Beam Trap has been a staple highlighter for me, especially one that doesn't really have much sparkle in it. Now this one to me looks like it may have a bit more sparkle, but I'm excited that it's going to be a bit more of a 2-for-1, like a blush and a highlighter. And typically I would just apply this with my finger. I don't have on any blush because I wanted this to be my blush highlighter combo. And I do feel that this works well on my skin tone. You do have to build it up if you want more opacity, but I actually quite like that. And you can go in with just the pink shade if you do want more pigment, which is kind of what I'm doing, is I'm going in heavier with the pink. I think you would go in lighter if you have a lighter skin tone. But here is what it looks like applied. I love this product so much. You do have to like a cream highlight, but that is really pretty. All right, now let's go in with this gloss. I'm excited because I think this is their first gloss that they have that doesn't have sparkle, and I want to say it's the most opaque gloss that they have in the line. This is going to work for such a wide variety of skin tones. I don't even have the eyeshadow on and I'm already loving the way that this look is coming together. All right, now let's go ahead and play with these eyeshadows. I'm going to try to kind of recreate the look in one of the promo shots. I do wish that these were magnetic, but I'm still really excited that we get 6 new duochrome shades. So I'm going to start off with the shade Rue and put that on the inner portion of the eye. I'm basically just going to blend like 3 of these shades together, 3 or 4 of these shades together. All of these would be beautiful one and done shades. All right, now we're going to take the shade Cat, which looks to me like a kind of blue teal shade, and just put that in the center of the lid, just creating a little bit of a rainbow gradient. Just a little bit of jewels. And then in the outermost corner, I'm gonna pop a little bit of Cassie. All right, and I put on some mascara, and here is the first completed look. All right, and for my second look, I'm gonna try to recreate a look that Donnie Davy recently shared on her Instagram page. So I'm gonna go right in with Glitter Puck. Now, she did use a different shade. She used the Princess Ghost one that came out pretty recently, but I feel like I'm gonna get a similar vibe with this. So basically just put this everywhere on an unprimed eye because you're not really supposed to get much fallout with Glitter Puck. And that is so beautiful just by itself. Okay, and for the second part of this, she went right in with this Magic Flick eyeliner and did kind of like a downturned eyeliner shape. And then the good thing is you can be a little bit messy because you can use the Magic Flick eraser to kind of clean it up. All right, I really love Flick eraser because that made it possible for me to go back even though I messed up a few times. I'm gonna next go in with Glitter Pill, and what she did was she went over the area that she put down the liner and just went right on top with the Glitter Pill. Now again, she used a different shade for her look, but I think it'll still turn out cool. And then pop some brown eyeliner in the waterline. Mine is actually more of a red brown because that is what I had on hand. All right, and I added some rhinestones, and here is the second completed look. All right, now that we've had a chance to go through everything, let's close up with some wrap-up thoughts. First things first, I am so incredibly excited that we have this collection. It was definitely one of my makeup predictions for 2026 that we would get a Half Magic and Euphoria collection. I believe this is the final season of Euphoria, and it would be such a missed opportunity not to have this collection. So I am so excited that we got it, and I truly think that it delivered. Now, this is definitely a big collection, and I think that for most people, it would make sense to pick a few pieces from the collection if you're going to get anything. And if I had to pick out my favorite pieces from the collection, I would say the palette. Number one, the palette. And then if I had to pick only 2 things, I would say the Glitter Puck and the palette. I really love the packaging of this glitter puck. I think it's so cool that we got this kind of blue sparkly cap here. Really nice touch. I do wish that the palette was magnetic because I feel like for a lot of us makeup nerds who like to mix and match our makeup products, this packaging is just a little bit bulky. You kind of like slide it out. You can't completely take this top off of it. But that being said, I do think that it's pretty, it's aesthetically pleasing, and I think the shades inside are really nice, and the formula is nice. These aren't squishy. I think they're going to work for a lot of people. So really, really happy with this palette. If I had to pick 3 pieces from the collection, I would add the Beam Trap highlight. This is like a blush lighter. I really love a cream blush and a cream highlight, and I think that this shade is going to be so flattering for so many people. I love the fact that you can kind of customize, which is the same kind of idea as the first Beam Trap highlighter. You can customize the shade to be deeper or lighter depending on what you want to go for. And I think this formula is just so good. So those are my favorite 3 pieces from the collection. And I would say my next favorite is the gloss. Now, the one thing is I don't know how limited edition this collection is going to be, like how much inventory they're going to have at Ulta versus the Half Magic website. I do hope that if you want to get something from the collection, you're able to. I do anticipate also that they're going to do a restock as well, because I feel like this collection is probably one of the biggest launches for the brand. Okay, now I would really love to hear what your favorite piece of this collection is, if anything is on your wish list, if you're planning to pick anything up. If you made it to the end of this video, I would love if you left a sparkle emoji. As always, I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.